Hey everyone, it's Gun Doctor again, back to give you a little bit of a demonstration here of Slipstream with an AR-15. I've taken the liberty of already breaking it down so we don't have to go through all of that together. It's already field stripped and ready to go. We just need to break right into it, so let's get started. First thing I like to do is actually work on the lower. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some, let's turn it around. I like to put some on the back of the hammer, right back in here. Just let it roll down, just put about a drop, that's all it takes. And it's going to get down there onto the sear engagement there. And about a drop on the flat of the trigger itself. There should be enough left over just on the needle tip itself to just give you a little bit of coating right there. I'm not squeezing it all, just letting what's left there spread around a little bit. Now just work it in. There we go. Now we're going to set this aside for a minute and pick up our grease. I like to put just a little bit of the grease, there we go, just right around the rim of the buffer right here. Doesn't take a whole lot. It's actually a whole bunch. Wow. There we go. And I'm going to set that right there. Now down the buffer tube itself, I like to put just a few drops. Give that a little bit. Now we are all set. Put our buffer spring and tube back in. There we go. That's all ready to go. I'm actually going to set it out of the way a little bit. We're going to move on. Break into the bolt carrier here. As always, the rule of thumb is where it shines, it gets oil, because that is our friction points. And these are actually the rails that the carrier is running on the inside of the upper receiver. So we're just going to give a little bit right here. Rub it across. A little bit, get it all over there. There's enough to coat the top of the key there a little bit. That's going to rub on the inside of the rifle as well, so we want to make sure we get that. And we'll get it all the way around. I like to put a little bit right here because this is where the shells, the casings in the magazine are actually going to rub across here as it's going through its firing stages. Okay, and I like to put, let's see if we can get a good shot here. Right inside here, this is where the carrier pin is going to be running, and it needs some lubrication. You don't want it to start slowing down. I like to put just a tiny bit on the inside. It will speed things up a little bit, but it will also, just as a rust prevention. So, set it down. Now the bolt itself really doesn't take a whole lot. Where it shines, it gets oil. We got just a tiny bit more. There we go. We're just going to rub that all the way around. and then this is the major point that's supporting it as it moves. So we're going to put some around there. A little bit like that. And that one's done. Let's see. We can see just a little bit here. If it'll focus, there we go. We have some friction points around here, so we're just going to give it a tiny bit, like we did before, just in between your fingers.